The silence of deep space shattered as the Vorn Armada dropped out of hyperspace, their sleek obsidian vessels casting long shadows across Earth's orbital defenses. Admiral Krell of the Vorn Collective smiled, his four mandibles clicking with satisfaction. Humanity's primitive detection systems would give them mere minutes of warning, not nearly enough time to mount an effective defense. All ships, battle formation, Krell commanded. Earth falls today. For centuries, the Vorn had conquered dozens of species across 3 spiral arms of the galaxy. None had presented meaningful resistance. Humans would be no different, or so they thought. On Earth, at Global Defense Command, alarms screamed to life. General Thomas Miller stared at the tactical display with narrowed eyes as hundreds of enemy signatures materialized in high orbit. "How many?" he asked, voice steady despite the chaos erupting around him. 317 capital ships, sir," Lieutenant Jackson replied. "Most powerful alien fleet we've ever encountered. They're jamming communications and targeting our defense satellites." Miller nodded once. "Implement Protocol Omega, now." Around the world, soldiers and civilians alike raced to predetermined positions. There was no panic. Humanity had prepared for this day since first contact revealed the hostile nature of the galaxy 50 years ago. In orbit, Admiral Krell watched with amusement as Earth's meager defense fleet, just 37 ships, moved to intercept his armada. Primitive designs, his tactical officer noted. Minimal shielding, projectile weapons only. "As expected," Krell replied. "Commence the attack pattern. Target their command vessels first." The Vorn vessels opened fire, energy weapons lashing out across the void. Several human ships exploded instantly. Others spun away damaged. Krell's mandibles twitched in what passed for a smile among his kind. "Sir," his sensor officer interrupted, "I'm detecting unusual energy signatures from Earth's surface." Before Krell could respond, space itself seemed to ripple around his fleet. Across Earth's surface, hidden installations activated as thousands of quantum displacement generators came online simultaneously. Technology reverse-engineered from a crashed alien scout ship decades earlier and kept secret from all extraterrestrial observers. The fabric of reality folded around the Vorn fleet. For a terrible moment, Krell felt his ship exist in 2 places at once. Then his flagship and a third of his armada found themselves not in Earth orbit, but near Jupiter's moons, surrounded by what appeared to be space stations. "What is this?" Krell demanded. "How did they?" The space stations activated, revealing themselves as massive automated weapon platforms. They had been hiding in plain sight for years, disguised as mining operations. Salvos of graviton torpedoes, weapons the Vorn had thought beyond human capability, streaked toward the disoriented alien ships. Back at Earth, the remaining Vorn vessels faced a different surprise. The planet's oceans churned as massive shapes rose from the depths, submarine carriers housing Earth's true defense fleet. These vessels, hidden beneath the waves for decades, deployed swarms of atmospheric fighters that climbed rapidly toward the invaders. "Impossible," Krell's executive officer whispered over the emergency channel. The intelligence reports said nothing of underwater bases or Jupiter defenses. General Miller watched from his command center as humanity's hidden arsenal engaged the enemy. "That's because we wanted you to think we were primitive," he said, though the alien couldn't hear him. "We've been expecting you for 30 years. In orbit, the Vorn's perfect formation had shattered. Their carefully planned ambush had turned into chaos as human ships attacked from unexpected vectors with weapons the aliens hadn't known existed. Lieutenant Emma Reed piloted her Thunderbolt fighter directly at a Vorn cruiser. Fox Squadron, Pattern Delta, she ordered her wingmates. Their fighters released specialized EMP warheads designed specifically to target Vorn shield frequencies, another technology developed in secret. The alien vessel's shields flickered and died. Follow-up strikes from kinetic penetrators poured through its hull, venting atmosphere and crew into the void. Around Jupiter, Krell's separated fleet fared even worse. The automated defense platforms had been programmed specifically for Vorn tactical patterns, anticipating and countering every maneuver. "Retreat," Krell finally ordered, his pride broken. All vessels, emergency jumped to rally point, but nearly half his ships were already destroyed or disabled. Of those that attempted to jump away, many found their hyperdrives malfunctioning, affected by specialized quantum interference fields humanity had deployed throughout the solar system. On Earth, civilians emerged from shelters to watch the sky. Brilliant flashes marked the death of Vorn vessels, while contrails from human fighters formed intricate patterns among the clouds. 3 days later, Admiral Krell stood before General Miller in Earth's orbital command station. The Vorn officer's once proud posture was diminished, his mandibles bound in the sign of surrender. "You knew we were coming," Krell stated. "It wasn't a question." Miller nodded. "We intercepted your scout transmissions decades ago. Every piece of technology you saw on Earth was carefully selected to make us look vulnerable. Every defense capability was hidden. We knew you valued the element of surprise, so we gave you the impression you had it. Why not strike us first?" Krell asked. "That's not who we are," Miller replied. "We hoped you'd recognize our right to exist peacefully, but we prepared in case you didn't." Krell's compound eyes studied the human. "The collective underestimated your species." "Most do," Miller said simply. "Your people can join the galactic concord we formed with other peaceful species, or you can remain isolated. But understand this: Earth is off limits." As Krell was led away, Miller gazed out at Earth below. Humanity had survived its first major interstellar conflict, not through overwhelming force, but through patience, preparation, and the uniquely human capacity to plan for the worst while hoping for the best. Across the galaxy, news spread quickly. The seemingly primitive humans had defeated the mighty Vorn collective. Earth wasn't just another world to be conquered, it was a power to be respected. And among the stars, other watching species took note.